Headlines in newspapers, online articles, and television serve the purpose of getting the big newsworthy event out as clearly and concisely as possible. Of course, in our modern times, news sources don't always keep to this goal, but that is what the purpose of a headline is. So for example, here are some notable actual headlines over the past 120 years. Maybe you've heard of them before. Titanic sinks 4 hours after hitting iceberg. Here's another one. Hitler dead. There's another one. The first footstep, referencing the moon landing. With all these headlines, the person immediately gets a picture of what happened. In Acts 11, we have some significant headlines in church history. For example, Luke says in Acts 11 that it is here in Antioch the disciples were first called Christian. In other words, when non-believers looked at the followers of Jesus, they gave them a name, Christian, which just means little Christ. It's as if the headline read this: Christians? Who are they? Why is it in Antioch that the church is first called Christian and not in Jerusalem? I think the significance of it can be easily missed by us today. In Antioch, the church was made up of Jewish people, Greeks, Romans, slaves, wealthy, men, women, young, and old. And so, when non-Christians looked at them, they didn't have a word that represented everyone in the group. They were all together, but they are also very diverse. What is holding them together is what the Gentiles would have been wondering. And the answer comes in realizing who they follow. They all follow this guy they call Christ. And so that became the name of the believers. The name Christian displays a core characteristic of the church. Core to the church's identity is that it is a group of people from different walks of life, now all going the same way, towards Jesus. Maybe this is a fulfillment of an old prophecy of Isaiah in chapter 56, where it says that God's people will be filled of Israelites and non-Israelites, that those formerly kept at a distance can come near to God, like the eunuchs, and they will be given a new and everlasting name. I think the non-believers were surprised how so many different kinds of people could do life together. How are they able to do this? We find out from Paul, a leader within the church in Antioch, that there is a simple yet profound answer. Paul gives it to us like headlines as well, as he says in Ephesians. What do the Christians have in common? One Lord, one faith, one baptism. From the early days of the Christian church, its physical unity amidst diversity pointed others to a spiritual reality, that we are one only because we follow Jesus. You know, Jesus gives a lot of commands to his followers. Make disciples, evangelize, love God, love neighbors. But there is a moment when he shares a hope that he has for the church. We see it in John 17. He prays that his followers would be completely one. I think he prayed this because he knew that his kingdom would look like what we see in Acts 11. People from different walks of life. For us today, may we pray this same prayer, and may we strive to live this prayer out. Let us not become a place where everyone is comfortable with one another because we look and talk the same. May we instead be a people from different walks of life who choose to be together because we are walking towards the same Lord.